What's up, everybody? It's your boy Nick Kalfas here, your favorite real estate investor. And today I want to talk a little bit about how I got started into real estate in hopes that it encourages you and it helps you to get started in real estate as well. So I believe that there's two main points that you have to get right in order to get started in real estate. And this can be applied to real estate and any other businesses that maybe you want to start. Number one is your mindset. You want to make sure your mindset is set on what you want to do. A lot of times people can have a mindset on what they want to do, such as getting into real estate investing, and not really know what to do in certain situations. And also they might see a lot of roadblocks in front of them that may deter them from jumping into it. For example, if you're thinking about getting into real estate, I'm sure you have an excuse or a reason on why you haven't gotten involved in it yet, whether or not you just don't know enough about it, or you don't know how to deal with contractors, you don't know what a good deal looks like, you don't know how to find the money to buy the deal, you don't know any of that stuff. But I'll tell you what, when I started in real estate 3.5 years ago, I didn't know any of that stuff either. I knew one thing, and that was my mind was set on getting a rental property. It all starts with one. So my mind was set to get one rental property. I didn't know what that looked like. I didn't know what hard money was at the time. I didn't know how to manage contractors. I didn't know how to get contractors. I didn't know how to refinance out of hard money. I didn't know what that concept was back then. And I didn't know how to place tenants. I didn't know how to manage tenants. But what I knew, going back to what I wanted, and having my mind set on what I wanted was a rental property. So I put the word out there that I wanted a rental property, and I didn't know what that looked like. So in a sense, ignorance kind of helped out because I didn't know all these factors that could take place, all the bad things that could happen. And when you sit there and focus on the bad things, when you're thinking about moving forward towards your goal and you think about them and you focus on all the bad that can happen, then you may talk yourself out. You may say, hey, I'm going to push this off for another year. I'm not in a good position. I don't know how to do this, X, Y, and Z. But in reality, just focus on the main goal. And for me, that was to get a rental property. And when I got a rental property on the contract, I didn't know what I was doing, but I just knew I wanted to push forward and get to that property renovated first, find hard money to get it renovated, and then get it rented out and refinanced. Each step of the way, I didn't know what that next step looked like, but I just kept moving forward. So what I want you guys to do is get your mindset correct. And when it pertains to real estate, the second thing was the finance aspect of it. When I bought my first rental property, I went through and asked about 5 hard money lenders. I got denied by all 5, and I finally made it to a hard money lender who decided to lend to me. And one of his biggest qualifications was you needed $30,000 in the bank. And that was a lot of money at the time. That was the only time that I had $30,000 in the bank. He asked for 2 months tax returns. He asked for 2 months of bank statements. And my last bank statement that I sent to him showed that I have $30,000 in the bank. And at the time it fluctuated, but he didn't ask for it after that. And that helped me secure that deal. So when you talk to people and they say, how much money do you need to get started in real estate? There's no definite answer, but you certainly want at least, I would say minimum $10,000, because a lot of hard money lenders, they want to see you have skin in the game. If you buy a property that costs $100,000, the hard money lender in most situations will lend 90% of that, meaning you have to bring $10,000 to the table to close on it. Obviously, if you buy a cheaper property, 10% of that, whatever that may be, you'll have to bring to the table. And then also, when you think about construction loans and all that with hard money lenders, you have to figure out, okay, I'm buying a property for $100,000 and it's going to cost me $50,000 to renovate the property. So if the property is $100,000, $50,000 renovation, the hard money lender lends you, let's say, 90% of the purchase price of $100,000, so they're lending $90,000 on that, and then 100% of the construction loan, which is $50,000. However, they hold their construction loans. For example, if you get a $50,000 construction loan, they will only fund it once a third of the project is done. So when a third of the project is done, they'll fund you the first third of that draw, meaning you have to come out of pocket the first third of that in order to get that draw from the hard money lender. So if you add up these expenses, you got the $10,000 you're coming out of pocket. If you bought a $100,000 property, you got to have 10% down. That's $10,000. You have closing costs. Closing costs can be anywhere from $5,000 to $8,000. And then you have the cost that you have to put up front before you get your first draw. So let's say, for example, you have $10,000 for your down payment, which is the 10% of the $100,000. You have your closing costs. Let's say that's $5,000 to make it simple. So that's $15,000 out of pocket at closing. And let's say your construction loan for easy math is $45,000 and you have 3 draws. So each draw is $15,000. So in order to get that first draw, you have to do a third of the work. So a third of the work is $15,000. So if you take $15,000 plus your $15,000 you needed to close on the property, that's $30,000 that you need before you get that first draw back. So essentially, you're going to need quite a bit of money to get rolling, unless you do have a private lender, which in most cases, if you're just starting out, maybe you don't, and you're going to need that cash up front when dealing with a new private or hard money lender. So on that scenario in itself, you're going to need $30,000 of your own cash to get that ball moving. So yes, you're going to need some money when getting into real estate. There are ways, however, other ways, but as it pertains to rental property real estate and doing the BRRRR method, you're going to definitely need some cash. So when I got started, as I mentioned, I found a hard money lender. I needed to show him I had $30,000 in the bank. That was just one of his qualifications. That's not everyone's qualifications, but that was just the situation I landed myself in, and I was very grateful to get that hard money lender, especially because I was already denied 5 or 6 times. So guys, in order to get into real estate, just keep it very simple. Your mindset has got to be right, and your finances has got to be right. And you want to have a good credit score, because when you go to refinance your mortgage out of that hard money on the back end, you may not be able to do that if you don't have a good credit score. So guys, it's very simple. You can apply this stuff to any business. Get your mind right, get your money right, get your credit right, and you can do good in life and whatever you want to do. Hope you guys enjoy this video. Please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace. So that was kind of just like off the top of the dome piece. Cash flow. What is cash flow? Cash flow is very simple. It is your monthly rental income minus your expenses, and you're left with a number that is defined as your cash flow. You have some investors who calculate cash flow one way, you have others who calculate it another way, and I strongly believe